Iho on 31st of October 2024. This is Michelle Hartnett here with her manager Brian Hartnett. I'm not sure what way this is going to go, like every other kind of thing I do, like everyone else. So I take a line for a walk, as an artist said before, and doodle drama. So if you want to call it doodle drama, whatever. This is open to any interpretation that anybody wants to like or dislike or be happy with. But if you want to be carried off in a dream with me with drawings and doodlings and I don't know, whatever comes out. So here goes. The Celtic moon was siphoned off into St. Patrick's crozier on a mound of dreams, filtered by fresh spring waters. Land of saints and scholars, they say. Plenty of scholars, very little saints. What are we but the dreams of yesterday, as our Irish lineages come to the fore, hoovering our thoughts into tandem gatherings of others' misfortunes. I saw you on the street. My eyes bled for you as I recognized the torture that you had so much as a child. I realized it was not your fault what had happened to your life. I realized the mistakes through the cursed corpses of leathered belts. Your education was at a cost, pursing into the lips of a sweated dream. Your hair became mangled and knotted, but rectified before your wedding day. All thoughts become silent, carnaged through the prophet's land. I forgive ye now. I understand. Throughout all the mania, the schizoid existence, benching bums on old seats and bars and public houses, you did not forgive. You were too hurt. But I say to you, as old poets say, they get lost in reverie and thought. Find the line that survives through you, your mother and father's grave birth secrets. Living a legacy, now freedom in the shoulders of great men and women. As columns built like colosseums come running up your spine. I forgive them now. As in parishes less perished, the sense of leathery tongues becomes forgotten. Healing becomes the new passions, festering and famished. I see in a different light, creating the culprits now less known in your minds, emancipating the truths. You did not have a childhood. At least I did. Finding freedoms encircling snail shells in old cottage doors. I chose the path to healing. Ye chose the path to hurt. And silly little things that were said and done becomes the corridors of enchanted wombs and stairwells that you could never forget becomes the echoes of yesterday's dreams. The hinged tales and kilkee talks along spears and tissues of cried out grandmothers now becomes the bedrock of a new Ireland. And halos become our solar systems from the very stuff of our existence. Eggshells becomes rebirth, reborn in our Irish Renaissance and the Rembrandts of the Catholic Church. Becomes the jellyfish we used to flick over as children with bucket and spade. For my father taught me these things to be true to myself. My mother, honest, pure of mind, taught me that family first, cartwheeling my way from all danger. I chose the path to positivity. I chose things that were less seen and less heard, circling dots around my Aboriginal horizons. And jelly dots on a Sunday ice cream became the stars of my cosmos. Banana floats in the Golden Grill became the happiest Fridays of my entire existence, with a famished family all feeding chips on a fiver. Always knew my dad. Always knew my mother. Always knew that as feral children as we were, the answers lied within our cradle birth and the humbleness of the people of the Boreen, collecting hazelnuts and wrapping them off the knuckles of stone, brick and mortar. I say it is never too late. Whatever doubt ye had can now become the greatness of your spirit. The synapses of time will become encapsulated in the minds of a new form of music, of a new form of longitude. The ears of those who have heard the voices, such as my humble husband, and recognizing the rapture of radio, has put the window of my soul into different contexts. Varying variegations of the poplar tree and noting tones from the honesty flower blooms of Bridgie and Maggie next door. And the girl I called the girl next door, Bernadette, beautiful in her saintlyhood and playing nursery rhymes on her swing. With Jean and Paddy and Mary all making mushroom soup, homemade, fresh with cow dung and washed and rinsed. The remnants of the land smelling through the nostrils of our mouths. We knew as neighbours the truth, that family, through an occult of goodness, not evil, would set us free. And the pined, weather-paned windows of those who could afford became less savoury as poverty taught us great lessons: endurance, perseverance, and honesty. The wavering, thundering sheets of rain that came down the weather vane of our youth, as me and my brother Colum listened to shortwave radio, flickering stations, sitting on windowsills, bordering our own theatre in our heads. Tongue's delight on a Sunday after dinner, with my mother making homemade trifle, and a stove on, burning, to keep a kitchen warm, as we found silly little things to keep us happy. Boxes from Birmingham from Caroline's mother, with beautiful clothes from Caroline's sister, and a box of USA biscuits, and a handsome note from my mother and father. Things revealed through egg, tea and toast, and hard work. And to keep trying when everything seemed to be in vain. Now finding emancipation through our cold feet on the kitchen floor. To keep going when everything seemed lost was the motto. From the brethren of people who knew better, by keeping things honest and simple. My mother once telling me of Christmas morning and getting an orange, how she would relish it with delight and yet wait for Christmas to happen again. Seashells becoming the whelks of her ears in golden necklaces. Rolling down hills as we did in days of yore. And running in fields, in pastures now. Engraving our footwork on the mosses of the boreen and calling home when we needed refuge and crying into pillows when times got tough, but knowing my father and mother, satisfied in the belief that all things will be made well, and a suggestion from Dad to sleep in it became the resolution of bits of cameras I couldn't understand, and looking at a blackboard with my eyes swimming in disbelief, knowing that in the surety that this was not the way towards my education. Scribbling thoughts on the blackboards of my mind, which delightfully became whiteboards at a later stage, knowing essentially there was something wrong which needed to be rectified in my later adulthood. As I pick up a purple pen for the legacy and lineage and long lines of everyone Irish, highlighting what needed to be said through scoring, circling pavilions and colouring my mouth at a young age with mauve lipstick and listening to Madonna. But the real music came from the people encircled around my table at Christmas. And the people of the parish of Partine, the good people, those that are kind, those I will remember right down to the core of my stomach, the reservoir of my being. Knitting Fair Isle jumpers to keep children warm against the elements of time. Against the snake-like pit of those narcissists who know how to play games and battles of the mind. living on tales and chronicles of Narnia, bamboo, bone and stick, and singing songs drunk and wearily at 3 o'clock in the morning along paved pedestrian pavements of Ennis. People sticking their heads out saying, "Shut up, go to bed, you can't sing," and laughing wildly at the wind, recognising my Irish madness. And seeing past the mascara-lined eyes where my husband said to me, "Take that mock off." I never knew that anything from orange sunsets of the fields nearby would become the greatest challenge in life, recognising that this protection would not always be there. The cornea of my eye rectified now, with Nana sausages calling home. With Grandad driving his Morris Minor, and me and Colum collecting conkers for the younger generations to play with. As we throw stick, mud, and delve into the deepest of our beings, seeing peasants and pheasants as we are, children of lost ages. Knowing that somehow people less known are the forgotten new tribes, as we welcome new dynasties of Irish people, Ukraine, flames its embers of soldiers and song. The flames of wings conquering the divisions, giving hope and resolve into thoughts less thought about, sinking into the marrow of our being and understanding when it's appropriate to forgive. And finding the pulsing heart of all our humanities, whether having children or not, and being advocates for children who now are fatherless and motherless. As we teach the world that we have a global responsibility for those who have suffered because of our richness. pick a blue pen for the waterborne swans of the Shannon. As they waver in and out, seemingly oblivious of their beauty, but rising to the task of an autumn morning. As they proceed the eye of the storm, as it becomes a boat and a fish with triangular mass. And legs. For a bullfinch and a flower to recognize the beauty of youth in Ukraine. As the thorns of such a flower bear pain, but resemblance into a frost-riddled morning and a kaleidoscope of colours and a fusion of visions. Now I will proceed, as I always have done, carrying my carnaged mind in a new path. Red to symbolize the blood of all humanity. As I make my way through spoken dreams, knowing that the women that died in the bed beside me in Our Lady's Hospital were the true queens, being shipped up to the county overnight. I dedicate my life in the memory to them. I have no other reason to accept that what was done to them was wrong. Being hurled by heavy-handed husbands and society when these women were past their prime. I will now cut an incision and make this a permanent landscape for my new visions to form. I'll get a scissors, just watch this. Is it recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Mother Moon had inclined her whispers to me at the youngest of ages. It never killed the Kilkee kindness as I stepped stones throughout my adversities. I never thought the sun would whisper things of neroli, but it did. As I built my own existence through losing thoughts down spiral staircases. And becoming less familiar to the terrain of drink and leaving less lines of ill decency and turbulent seas of misfortune, now less recognised. As photos of wedding and an honourable rose you purchased for my hair. And seeing mother and father and sister and niece and in-laws so happy in the joys that we shall wade the waters together. And knowing that our lives has become like the womb of ducks in 6 Mile Bridge. Knowing that cooked meals are not just for one, but for two. And now recognising you as Uncle Brian and Auntie Shell. New additions to a humble pot of stew. I never thought I could survive. I held on with teeth and nail and to rock and stone as the waves bashed wearily over my head. A horse became the Trojan truth. A new Grange with its new moons and flamboyant circles taught me tenacious secrets. As I cut into the things less purchased, with sober sailors recognising that anything is possible. To this day I recognise the children of Gaza who do not have the same privilege to play as I do here. Now, as I awaken the storm within myself, and fleck the flicks of lint from my second-hand jumper. I must be strange. Strange is a thing that people don't normally do. I'm okay with that. I celebrate my uniqueness. I'm okay with no horse that divides the truth from lies as I cross over the Arnaquisha and Partine bridges, knowing that going up the hill has the joy of coming down the hill. As I remove things less plausible and make things more seeable, as young children play football, through the eyes of their mind they become great heroes. As horses play in fields admire us. And new ears for a beckoning Ireland. Joining the eyes together to bridge new noses and new mouths of ultimate beings. As I listen to Tom playing familiar tunes over and over, a legend that never dies. As I cut through the miscord of things less told, I see past the remembrances of a horse in a field. Don Quixote, I hear them say. There's this boned animal I now place permanently on this page. With us, the ancestors of primates and pale skin mixed with the blackness of a morning that I never saluted, the night. As children, we play with stick and stone. and honour a hula hoop through the legends of lilies. Amen. Cut.